No matter how big the window, no matter how many pieces are in it, it begins with the first piece getting laid down on the pattern. So the way I begin is with the first piece. And when I begin with a certain type of faith. And that faith is in the fact that I know with certainty that Michelle has cut every single piece exactly to size. And that's the ground upon which I work. And my job is to take the first piece, to lay it down on the pattern, to get it exactly inside of its lines, and then to put little pieces of lead all around it, holding it in place with special leading nails. Once the first piece is on the table in such a way that it's not going to move at all, I'm going to pick the next piece that's adjacent to it, and I'm going to take a piece of lead, I'm going to put it on the first piece on one side, and going to put that first piece of glass inside the channel of the lead. And then I'm going to take the second piece of glass and I'm going to put it down right next to it and put it into the channel. And then I'm going to examine how that second piece of glass is fitting into its space. In an ideal world, that second piece of glass is going to fit exactly inside the lines of its space. But sometimes there are slight deviations, not as a result of the size of the piece of glass, but because maybe the lead that was separating it from the piece next to it couldn't take the curve that we had cut in the glass, so it made the curve a little bigger and pushed the piece a little bit out next to it. So if that's the case, my job is going to be to take the second piece and I'm going to adjust it, most often with a glass grinder, and I'm going to take off very small little pieces, and by successive approximations, I'm going to bring it right back inside the line where it belongs. And then I'm going to put pieces of lead around that piece. And I'm going to make sure those pieces are on the table in such a way that they can't move under any circumstances, because I'm going to be putting pieces of glass one by one up against this beginning assemblage of a stained glass window. And I'm going to be pushing the pieces into the channel with quite a bit of force each time, sometimes even using a glazing hammer to hammer the pieces into the lead, because I need to get each piece inside of its lines. And I can't let anything that I've already put down move even the slightest bit, or else the entire assembly will get pushed out of its pattern. So I'm putting pieces down one at a time, a piece of glass, a piece of lead, another piece of glass, checking how it fits, making small adjustments, putting that piece down, putting another piece of lead, and building the window one piece at a time in that manner until I've got the entire window assembled with this network of lead pieces that will be soldered together to make an integrated network which will hold the pieces of glass together essentially forever.